Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com. Let's get into today's topic. I want to talk about 4 spiritual senses. You have your regular senses, your smell, your taste, your touch, your sight, those kind of things. These are spiritual senses. I don't know if you can really, without going to the doctor or technology, increase your sense of smell or taste. Like if there's some sort of exercise you can do or lifestyle management that you could get on, some sort of fitness program or diet that can make your hearing better. I mean, I don't know about that shit. Seems like you're just kind of stuck with whatever you're stuck with, and if it deteriorates, you go to the doctor and they give you a hearing aid or glasses or whatever. But your spiritual senses, you can tighten those up. You can sharpen those. And the sharper you make those, the more wise you become, the more powerful you become. The more of a connection you have to the universe, Mother Nature, God, whatever you want to call it. And to others, you very well may come across like a magician, like you are performing magic, like that you have powers that they don't. That's why I choose Gandalf as the model for this, because he seemed like he had these qualities. The first one is insight. Spiritual sense. Insight is a spiritual sense. Insight is understanding. When you gain insight, you gain understanding. When you have insight about something, you understand it. Insight is tied to our own self-practice, our own knowledge, education, experiences, etc. But sometimes it does feel like it comes from nowhere. And you get these aha moments. You can get in the flow, in the flow state, in the zone. And you can do this physically if you're playing basketball or something like that. But you can if you're playing pool, if you're getting a roll playing pool, you just can't be beat. But you can also get in the zone when you're doing math, or when you're thinking about philosophy, or when you're in an intellectual mode or in a spiritual mode. And your understanding is intellectual and spiritual. And there's occasions when you can get material that maybe you wouldn't have got before. All of a sudden, you're understanding the lecture that you're listening to. I listen to a lot of stuff. Sometimes I click on YouTube and I'll listen to a lecture by somebody, some professor, or somebody doing a TED Talk, and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It just, zoom, goes right over my fucking head. Who the hell knows what it's just mumbo jumbo. Might as well be speaking another language. Every once in a while, I'll get the shit. Guys talking about quantum physics, and I don't know anything about quantum physics. All of a sudden, I'm understanding it. That all of the sudden kind of aha moment, that in the flow state of knowledge where it's like blowing your mind. If you pick up a good philosophy book, I don't know if you guys get off on philosophy, but there's philosophers that will blow your fucking mind, but only if you're in that right flow state to receive the message. A poem can drop you to your knees if it hits you just right, and you gain that certain, if it opens up this Pandora's box of insight. It's just understanding. Happened to me on a drive across town to a friend's house one time, and a line in a song came on. I'd heard the song before, but I guess I was just in the right mode mentally, and the fucking line hit me like a goddamn lightning bolt from God. I thought about that one sentence the whole drive over, and it fucking opened this Pandora's box of my past. And on the drive for like 5-8 miles, all it was across town, I thought about and hashed out like a therapy session an incredibly important experience from my past. And I didn't have to talk about it with friends. I got there a changed person. I had this new understanding, this new insight. Where does that shit come from? It can be just magic. But you have to sharpen these senses in order to start experiencing what they can benefit you with, all that they give you, all the power that you can gain with this. Let's go to the next one. Spiritual sense is intuition. Intuition is thought. If you have an intuition about something, you have a thought about it. There's that mother's intuition. You mothers out there, you might think all of a sudden you're sitting there watching TV, minding your own business, reading a book, whatever, making food, whatever you're doing, and you think all of a sudden this thought out of nowhere, my son is in danger. And mothers will get these kind of mother's intuition, these kind of fucking mental telepathy. It just kind of feels like magic. Maybe because they incubate a child for 9 months, they actually had a connection, a physical connection with that kid. But intuition can feel like magic. But it's one of these things, each one of these is the same, where you have to get into this flow state with it and to allow it to happen. As you go through experiences in your life and you build your knowledge, you can build each one of these. That's why I promote mind, body, and soul. The more that you stay on a program of mind, body, and soul development every single day, each one of these spiritual senses gets sharpened and you get better at them. Your insight becomes greater. Your ability to understand becomes greater. Your intuition becomes stronger. The ability to navigate around obstacles with this forethought. And that's really powerful. Sometimes it honestly does feel like magic. And I mean, I was at a party one time, a friend of mine, his dad owned Guess jeans. Good dude. I always wonder what happened to that motherfucker. He was a good guy. We're just chilling at his house, and out of nowhere, I just had this intuition, this thought, I should leave. All of a sudden, I just started feeling really uncomfortable. Squirmish in my chair, not comfortable in the room, and I didn't know why. And I wasn't in full-on fight or flight mode or anything. I wasn't having an anxiety attack, or nothing had happened. I'm around friends, it's safe, I've been to the place before, having a good time. Just had this thought, I gotta go. So I got up and left. And people were like, where are you going? And Kevin is all like, where are you going, man? And I was just like, I gotta go. And I had nowhere really to go. I was just gonna go home and hang out. I had nowhere to go. But my intuition told me to leave that night. And I did. And I went outside, got in my car, drove half a block, and as I get half a block down the fucking street, his house is right on the corner, as I get half a block to go turn that corner, I see all the cop cars and a line of cops with their guns out storming his house. They were storming the house in the process of busting the door down and raiding the place as I was in the car already driving. If I would have been in that house, I would have absolutely been going to jail. I just somehow barely missed it. Just lucky, I guess. I just had this intuition. And I always laughed about that experience because I left just at the right time. Let's go to the next one. Spiritual senses. These can feel like magic to some people. Is instinct. Now, instinct is similar to intuition, but it's different because intuition is thought. Instinct is your reaction, your movement. So some people have really good instincts. They may have natural instincts. I don't know if there are truly natural instincts because babies don't have a lot of natural instincts. You have to learn. Some of your instincts are byproducts of your learned experiences, your failures, your successes, and all that, the value you take from each experience. You may have a natural instinct for fighting. I know people that were martial art guys, MMA guys, and some people just have a really natural instinct for when to move. Instinct is movement. So they may have just this instinct to dodge punches and to throw punches, and they just have really good fighting instincts. Some people have really good hunting instincts. And all these are tied to experience, but sometimes it can feel like magic. Some people have really good navigational instincts. I'm one of those types of people. I always know where north, east, west, south is. It doesn't matter the location. Put me in the woods, put me in the desert, in a mountain, anywhere, put me anywhere, I don't care, underwater, 1,000 feet. I always know what direction I'm going. It's just this thing. Where does that shit come from? I mean, sometimes it can feel like magic, especially to other people who get lost. I don't ever get lost because of that reason. I don't need GPS. I always know where north is. I always know where west is. So your instinct is tied to movement. The last one is morality. Do I have time to do the last one? Yeah, let's do the last one real quick. The last one doesn't have to be very long because we know what morality is. Right and wrong. Having high morals is being on the side of rightness. I don't mean righteousness. I don't like to use that word. It's a weird word. But rightness. Moral rightness. There's certain things that I believe are universally right. Some people will argue with me about this, and I've argued with people about this. There's some people that truly believe that everything is subjective, and that right and wrong is subjective, meaning that it could be different for you or for me, but there are some things, I believe this, you don't have to, but I believe this. There are some things that are right and some things that are wrong. Just like I believe there is good and there is evil. Some things you might, if they're nuanced and they're not really a big deal, you might be able to say, well, in our culture, we look at that as good, and in that culture, they look at it as bad. And maybe if we were historians and archaeologists, we could pick little different bullshit things. But there's some things which you know, that's wrong. Some things you know, that's right. This is the right thing to do. Why are you going to jump in those icy waters and save that puppy? Because it's the right thing to do. Some people will drive right by and say, it's a stupid dog. There's too many dogs out there. No one's going to miss a fucking dog. Their lives are meaningless. And some people know, I need to do the right thing. When you have that burning desire, you're willing to risk your life over what's right. Where does that come from? Sometimes that is a spiritual sense. And it can feel like a power, like a superpower. Not a power, when I say power, I don't mean power over people. I mean a power that empowers you, that makes you powerful as a leader, to be able to know instinctively what's right and what's wrong. Not just through your training and your upbringing, because your father was so good and your parents were great and your teachers and all that, but there's a connection. When you're studying mind, body, and soul every single day, you get a connection to the universe. You get a connection to yourself. It all gets to be one. It's one circle. It's not just... And it's hard to explain. Maybe we should stop here. The video is going to get too long. This is all just food for thought. Thanks for watching.